Are you ready to dig deeper into human persuasion and really find out what makes somebody like you and side with you and persuade others? In this video, you're going to find out the 5 secrets. This time it's really 5, right? Not 3. The 5 secrets of advanced persuasion techniques that, by the way, great politicians are using on you almost every day. Now, I got 3 video clips for you. And instead of just me telling you, oh, these are the 5 steps and you moving on, you're going to tell me, after watching those 3 video clips, what you think those 5 things could be. Ready? Take a pen and paper, and here we go with clip number 1.
In the end, that's what this election is about. Do we participate in a politics of cynicism, or do we participate in a politics of hope? It's the hope of slaves sitting around a fire singing freedom songs. The hope of immigrants setting out for distant shores. The hope of a young naval lieutenant bravely patrolling the Mekong Delta. The hope of a mill worker's son who dares to defy the odds. The hope of a skinny kid with a funny name who believes that America has a place for him too.
Write down what you think, and we move to clip number 2.
Alongside our famous individualism, there's another ingredient in the American saga. A belief that we're all connected as one people.
And here is clip number 3.
Now, even as we speak, there are those who are preparing to divide us. The spin masters, the negative ad peddlers, who embrace the politics of anything goes. Well, I say to them tonight, there is not a liberal America and a conservative America. There is the United States of America.
All right, welcome back. What is fascinating about this is that this is the same speech as we talked about earlier, and Barack Obama does all of these things in just one speech in a matter of minutes. And what are those things? What did you come up with? I want you to go to the Q&A and actually comment how you define it in your own words. Sometimes your own words are just more powerful than the words I gave you because they might not have the same meaning. Now, independent of which words you use, the underlying principle here is something that an entire book was written about. And that entire book was written by nobody else than Blair Warren. The book is called The One-Sentence Persuasion. Crazy, a one-sentence persuasion, right? And here it is. People will do anything for those who encourage their dreams, justify their failures, allay their fears, confirm the suspicion, and help them throw rocks at their enemies. Encourage dreams, justify failures, allay fears, confirm suspicion, and help throw rocks at their enemies. Now, go back to the 3 videos. We're going to play them again here. And with that knowledge in mind, go again through it and listen carefully what Obama says.
In the end, that's what this election is about. Do we participate in a politics of cynicism, or do we participate in a politics of hope? It's the hope of slaves sitting around a fire singing freedom songs. The hope of immigrants setting out for distant shores. The hope of a young naval lieutenant bravely patrolling the Mekong Delta. The hope of a mill worker's son who dares to defy the odds. The hope of a skinny kid with a funny name who believes that America has a place for him too. Alongside our famous individualism, there's another ingredient in the American saga. A belief that we're all connected as one people. Now, even as we speak, there are those who are preparing to divide us. The spin masters, the negative ad peddlers, who embrace the politics of anything goes. Well, I say to them tonight, there is not a liberal America and a conservative America. There is the United States of America.
The first one is all about hope, right? What is that in the methodology of the one-sentence persuasion? Well, that is encourage the dreams, the dream, the hope, right? What about the second clip? Well, the second clip is allaying the fears, the yes we can mentality. Us together, we can do this. What about the third clip? The third clip combines number 4 and 5 of this methodology, namely the suspicion, confirming suspicion, and, there is the spin doctors, right? And throwing rocks at the enemies. We won't let them do this, right? And so in just a few minutes, Obama made use of all those techniques that are just inherent in human psychology. And again, any good politician will make use of that. I'm not telling you to become a bad politician and manipulate, rather the opposite. It's important for you to understand the psychological principles. Much more than you actually making use of that in everyday sales call. These techniques, once you really understand them, will help you understand human psychology, and as a result of it, will make you communicate more effectively. But before I let you go, think about how else could you make use of this knowledge that you just gained for your sales presentation, for your sales call, for your presenting your idea, whatever it is that you have to offer, right? How can you make use of that? Because you will be surprised when you sit down now with a pen and paper and you think about it and you go through each one of those 5 and you think about it, that there are actually a few ways that you can make use of that much more actively than just knowing about human psychology, but actually in reality. And maybe you even realize that you've been doing some of that, because sometimes this is just the truth, right? Maybe there is the competition that has bad practices, right? That's the enemies of the consumer who wants the real deal and always is faced with like bad salespeople who try to rip them off. Well, that's the enemy. And maybe you find out others, right? The fear that people might be having about using a new product. You can allay that fear rather than simply not touching it. And by that, the fear will be there in your prospect. Because maybe the product that you're having isn't that complicated and you can allay those fears doing that. So before you go through those 5 points. And again, in an interactive manner, rather than me just telling you what to say, think about how can you make use of those 5 in your specific sales pitch persuasion game that you have going on.